Hey folks, Mark here. We're winding up the cops videos, and number 19 is how to tango with the cops. Now, all of these other 18 videos that we've done have been leading up to this idea. Now, I came up with the term tangoing with the cops on a whim because I was trying to talk to people about how to interact with the cops. And I came up with the analogy of most people when they start dealing with cops, man, it's like they're dancing to Funky Chicken. Right? They're just doing anything that comes to their little pea brains. And they don't understand how well trained the cops are to build a case. How to develop a situation that the arrest that they did will stand up in court and be prosecutable. And while you're doing the Funky Chicken, you're playing right into that. Well, tangoing, it is very formal, ritualized. Both parties have their steps and their maneuvers. They react to each other and they work off each other. So when I'm talking about dealing with the cops as more like a tango, understand he's trained. He is a professional who is working towards a goal. You have to act like a professional that is working towards a different goal. So the nuancing between the two of you is what's going to keep you out of jail. Now, often it's really hard for me to talk about this because my main area of dealing with the cops is these days regarding self-defense. And, telling people that, of the countless acts of illegal violence, cops tend to get very, very jaded. They tend to just, look, theoretically they know there's self-defense out there, but most of the time that's not what they're seeing. So often when they see something that is self-defense, they can be a little jaded and not really want to look deeply into it. Now, I have found there are predatory prosecutors. I had a public defender in a certain city tell me that in that city there was no self-defense. The prosecutor went after everything. Anything and everything was going to be prosecuted, and his orders to the cops was to find, or the DA's office orders to the cop was to find ways to prosecute, find a reason to arrest, find a way that this person could be prosecuted for illegal violence, regardless if it was self-defense. Now, knowing that could be not the officer in front of you, per se, but the department and the legal system that is behind him, if that's their attitude, you have to be a dancer. You have to understand that whether you acted in self-defense or not, they may want to prosecute you anyway. And the only way out of that is to be a good dancer, to know how the game is played, to work it, counter it, know when to speak and when to shut up, know when the situation has turned from an investigation into an interrogation and building a case. Once you know to look for it, you can start seeing it. And, also be able to explain to your attorney why it was self-defense. Now, this is important because part of the tango is what you don't tell the cops that you do tell your attorney. Things like knowing that after you've not given them permission, if they proceed forward to search you, that can be a basis for dismissing the case. Well, you don't tell the cop, hey, you just got this case dismissed. No. But you go, okay. and you wait until your attorney. This is the kind of tangoing that I'm talking about, and it's not an emotional freak out. It's a very tense situation, yes, but you have to keep your cool when dealing with the cops. So take everything I've said thus far and think of it as tango lessons.